the Imaxit YouTube platform. I'm your host, JD. If you're new, please do smash that like button, share, and definitely subscribe. If you're a member of the channel, massive respect to you lot. And how to become a member, please do click the join button. YouTube will help you along the way. So as you saw there, we're going to be discussing Jamaica, Reggae Boyz, players abroad, which is something that we have done on this channel consistently. We are going to add some new pieces to it to improve the quality. That's one. We're going to look at the youth 20s. How likely it is for them to do something. That's the next one. And we have to look at how corruption could damage the actual, how corruption could actually damage the progression of Jamaica's football. So those are the things that I wanted to cover out on the road. Yes, but obviously we don't have any battery trouble, so that is some improvements. Yes, so we're happy, and I think this is a strong conversation that we need to have. Because the other day someone sent me a message, and I am looking at it and I'm saying, how is it these people still continue to get away with these things? And clearly it's because it's a lawless enterprise at this point. So people can just use popularity contests to get away with whatever they want. And because of those things, sometimes it could actually stall people that's actually doing something that can truly elevate what elevate Jamaica as a whole to get success now. All right? Yes. So let me start by bigging up the people inside the chat, and then I'll run through the players that played so you guys don't get left out. All right, so we have Drew Ross in the building. Big up yourself. Football Global in the building. Big up yourself. Stennett in the building. All right, massive respect. Don't know why is he covering his mouth. Um, Vinny Congo in the building. Massive respect. Corruption in Jamaica football. You serious? I am having a conversation, so please listen to what I'm saying before you jump to say that I've said things that I've not said. All right? Yes. So please listen first. So, Pastor, good day. How are you doing? So I can get to everything. Let me know. Introduce yourself. What's going on with
Good,
you?
good morning, good morning. Well, you say introduce myself. What's going on with me? I am a little fatter than I would want to be, but I mean, good morning to everybody in the chat. I I am trying to program myself to get get into shedding some pounds.
Okay. Is it because of the weather before that you have put on
Uh,
weight? Because I don't know why are you so you're
inactivity,
getting fat,
inactivity. No, I never said I am getting. I said I am
Oh my
fatter than
God.
I want to be. Not
All right.
getting.
All
Can't be
right.
getting. I need to be shedding. Not get.
Oh my God. All right, so let we not make that this conversation is about the pastor, because people already
No, no,
saying no Diddy. Why? Pastor fix up that. Then we have Aldre in the building. Massive respect. And guys, remember, please go on all of the platforms to go and subscribe. Instagram, Twitter, and also TikTok. We are going to be putting a few more things over the TikTok, because I heard a lot of people complaining about we not putting out the whisper video the other day, but sometimes I have to work on the contents them a little bit longer, and I am not in any desperation to do things, because my thing is about getting the thing out at the with the right quality. You understand me? Yes. So that is my thing there. So for people that's saying that I have not put it out fast, I understand. The Pillow Gang want their thing now. It's okay. I am good over here, and I will take my time. All right. Yes. Big up yourself. Ty, big up yourself. Best as documentary. Aldrin in the building. And then we have Minister Nation just coming, and Duckland saying, cut down on the eating. All right. So he's giving you some advice as to how you could actually get better. All right. So once you guys come into the chat, remember to hit the like button and give your takes on any one of the subjects that we are talking on. Richie Robinson, big up yourself. Thanks for being here. Hope all is well with you and the family. All right. So let me start with some situation here, which does. I am wondering if everything is okay with this player. Yes, because Philadelphia played yesterday. you may not yesterday, because my hours are a little bit different. So that is wrong. Let me just share this, and then I will get to breaking it down to give you the information. All right. All right, so this is what we have right here. Let me pull it up right here. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. So Philadelphia 2-2, 2-2. With Atlanta, Atlanta. Yes, so 2-2. So Philadelphia keep conceding a lot of goals. All right, so they have conceded 14 goals. No, they have conceded 9 goals and scored 14. They are currently in sixth place with 13 points so far. All right. So they had both Damion Lowe and Andre Blake started, but Andre Blake played only 45 minutes. Andre Blake played only 45 minutes. Guys had 2 saves. I claim one had 18 touches of the ball and 9 of 13, which is 69%, which is good. Normally he would have been a little bit lower. Right. And long balls completed 7 of the 10 long balls right there. But he only played 45 minutes. All right. So it looks like Andre Blake struggling with fitness issue. They had said he had some either leg problems the last time. We had heard people say other things. I have only reported on what I know, because that was presented to me. So, how much of a concern Andre Blake is to you, Pastor, if he keeps on coming off the field and having these problems? He had problems before the window. He came straight back in time to come and join up with Jamaica, and then right after that he had an injury, and then now he had an injury. He had an injury yesterday again. Oh, you look at that.
That is a big concern for me. I am going to view it the same way Coach Grimm viewed it when he came and his first game was Argentina. You want your number one goalkeeper
We're
to
not
be
seeing a
in,
pastor. We're not seeing it. You look at your last.
yeah,
Okay, yeah, man. We're seeing
you
it now.
want your number one goalkeeper to be in the thick of things. So I that is big concern for me. Um, I don't know exactly the extent of the injury, but it is alarming for me. My number one goalkeeper has to be 100% or close to, especially with the major competitions we're going into just what? It's April. It's 1 month, 1.5 month away. So I'm
All
very
right, all
concerned
right.
about that.
All right. Okay. Nice. 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 And Dockland said, "Hearing it's a groin injury that is not good at all. He might need some time away." All right. No, I kind of know that's the situation. Dockland, even if he had other injuries as well, because that's what he was suffering for the longest time. With. So, how would you approach it? Is it that he has to? You would have given him the time away. So, for instance, if they say it's going to take a month and a half to get it ready, fully sorted out, like, because this thing keep on coming back, what would you do? Would you consider to say, all right, then, you know what, let me just let him get as much time and move away from it? We're not hearing the pastor. We're not hearing you.
The club have an investment, so they have to do incremental or periodical assessments, and they might be thinking we're at this stage of the competition. We need our best goalkeeper to see where we can finish. In terms of the national team, that's a different dynamics because the Grim doesn't really control he's going when to go do surgery or not. But I would prefer to say that I'm speaking from the position of the national coach now rather than from the club. I would want him to take the time, even if I'm going to bring him as the third keeper in my squad going to Copa and World Cup qualifiers to start. So I would want to know that okay, if you need surgery, you take the time off, get the surgery done, so you can be working toward getting back to your best. A groin injury is more impactful than even a knee injury, which is which can be tragic. Both of them can be tragic. But because of the location of the injury, it is more it it takes more time to heal because you pretty much are those muscles are always engaged, so to speak. For any motion, your groin is activated. The reality of that, the quicker he takes the time to go deal with it, the better it is for longevity.
Okay.
Remembering also that he's not a youth.
Yes, he's getting a little bit older now. Yes, that is
Yeah.
true. All right. So bless up. One love, massive respect. Alj said, "Are we talking about the player that Cavaliers registered under their club illegally, and the player original club didn't process the transfer with? No, I am not talking about that. I'm talking about football in general. So Alj, I'm not taking one side or the other." Because as what we know, it's a lot of corruption type thing runs in the country. We have to be honest to ourselves, and because football is not a developing thing, a lot of more corruption there. All right, some of them we choose to avoid because it's some people that we support. You understand me? And that is maybe the biggest corruption that Jamaica has, because we support certain people who bypass certain things, and that is the big difference. But we're not going to touch there as yet because we have 2 hours, our normal customary 2 hour. Yes. So we have Damien Lowe. Damien Lowe had a 7.1, played the entire 90 minutes, had 7 clearances, 2 block shots, 1 interception, 1 tackle, and he was playing centre back. He was playing centre back. Touches, 37 touches, and he completed 18 of 23 passes, which is 78%. Created one, or had one key pass, so he was in transition towards the play. All right. Long ball, 4 of 6 completed. Very good there. All right. Very good for Damien Lowe right there on the long balls. All right. So if we are going to play them, at least we know that he's improving on them. Ground duels, 2 of 5. Aerial duel, 1 of 2. Last position 6 times, which is not a lot. Committed 3 fouls, was fouled once, and that's about it. All right. So nice looking numbers there. I've not watched the game, so I can't give you a inside detail analysis on this one. All right, I will try and get it later and give you a better rundown on the games. All right, yes. So that is Damien Lowe. That is Damien Lowe right there. Let
On
me.
on that
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
on
Go ahead.
on that, JD, I believe this is where when we analyze and break down what the players do, it is important because with those kind of stats, despite what anybody want to feel about Damian Lowe, he has kept himself relevant in the national team in the centre back pool. This is what competition for spaces literally brings to the fore because you have to up your game. When last did we get a stats where Damian Lowe is shooting, making long passes at 70 yard, 80 yard percent? You
But
see,
Pastor, to be honest, there it's very few specialists get those on a regular, because
y-
it's not
y-
or teams that are much more seasoned get that regular, and I don't think the team is seasoned. They came in last year. He was not a starter in the team. Injury upon, suspension upon. They gave him a game, and from that they keep on fluctuate with their squad. So it's not like he gets seasoned in it so far. So I think what he did over the overall time, he's there. I want to say that it's okay. I will give it that it's okay. 1 second, Pastor.
and, and, and,
You go
and
ahead.
that's what
Go
I'm
ahead. Go ahead.
saying. That's what I'm saying. He has literally placed himself in
Mhm.
the scope of things. No, no, whether you like him or not, that is the kind of performance that make you relevant within a squad competing for places. So, kudos to him for that performance. That's really what I'm saying.
Okay, all right, fair enough. Jam up, bless of yourself. Thanks, Sabine here said it's true. Money talks in Jamaica. Alj said, all right, yeah, man. But Alj, we once you know more about certain things, I can talk on it. But if I don't know about a specific thing, I can't talk on it. You understand me? Float management, big up yourself. Thanks, Sabine here. Mr. United, big up yourself. Low that from love that from Low. Hope he keeps it going. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. I am not sold on Damien Lowe. Where in defense centre back or the defensive central? You're talking, Mr. United, because if he had a solid game in defense, we have to give him his credit. You know, now we have to start talking if he's outperforming other persons in defense, and if others
Exactly.
are injured and maybe extra space there, is it Ethan Pinnock or Damien Lowe gets that space? You understand me? Because Ethan Pinnock came back, but he has not played so much minutes. Damien Lowe continued to play, and we have Bishan Bernard injured. So who will get that spot? All right. Dockland said head of state never two. All right. Samson says, jobless JD, give thanks for another day. Massive, massive respect. Thanks for being here. Brian Burke in the building. Big up yourself, my brother. Real, my brother. All right. Real baller. Good morning, JD, and also Pastor. We're not going to take the disrespect because we are trying to give you authentic, quality communication. So we start with respect if you want people to be exactly what you want. All right. Yes. So what we can ask you guys to do is, oh, you hit the like button, people, is to go on the top of the page. You're going to see a triple dot. Click the triple dot and then click the like button because that's how we get the visibility on it. I know this series changes. This format looks different, but it's the one that I have on the road. It's easier for me to do it, so that's why. All right. Yes, we have started with the charger because you're in the new car and everything, so it makes things more comfortable. I don't have to be rushing to go home to edit a file. I can just charge it. I've just bought the for the iPhone. I just bought the um Type C converter iPhone charger. All right, so that's how I take everything that I do very, very serious. All right, yeah, man. Big up, um, determined, massive respect. Real baller says anywhere. JD lighting up youth. Pastor, our friend. All right, okay. No problem, Mr. Real Ball. I'm just saying, let me start with respect, and then maybe we can improve the thing because we want other communities. For me, I want other communities to be on the channel. You understand me? So I want
In his
people from
defense,
Glasgow
JD,
and stuff.
in his defense,
Um,
the way he spelt it would be in his defense because it had a double D. So it would imply that it is not anything untoward.
okay, well, I don't know. I am not
It,
the
it was
words.
spelled it was
I'm not
spelled
the
with two
words
D's.
expert, Pastor. I'm not the words expert. I'm just trying to make sure I have
Yeah.
a clean platform. All right. Yes, that's all.
And I
Um,
appreciate that.
yes, so people can feel comfortable to turn up and
Yeah.
not feel like people in a hostile situation. So, anyways, Vancouver lost to LA, LA Galaxy, and our boy Javin Brown never came off the bench. So that is something else for Javin Brown. We have to ask how far he has actually dropped off in our looks. Because remember, we need everyone. We need everyone to play a part if it's possible. But Javin Brown on the bench, and from the start of the season, pretty much struggling to find that right form. He gets 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and even other games with longer stretches, seems to not really come up to that high level. So, what you think is, what people in the chat, what you think is stopping Javier Brown from reaching the highest heights, as to how everyone talks about him?
All right. While they're processing in the chat, JD, the way you say it, I will not say it that way. We need
Uh,
we need
I've left you,
everyone.
know.
We
I've left you
no,
to sow
hold
your own seed. So you
on.
make
Good.
sure you take the beating after. All right.
No, we need everyone who are progressing and improving. And I'm going to return to the Damien Lowe's compliment for the performance he just laid down. In a competitive, productive space, improvement on productivity is of paramount importance. And if Javian Brown doesn't cut it where he incrementally ups his game, he will be left behind not just by country but by club, because there are a lot of young persons coming up who wants his place. This is a competitive marketplace. It is your job, it is your sport, this is what you do for a living. So you have to keep, and I'm going to use the term again, keep yourself relevant to the position. Javin Brown has fallen down the ladder right now in the national team on the right back. Why? Because there are players who have upped their game. So you can't go around and blame anybody. Javin, I was never one of your fans, but I have always been fair in my analysis of your performance. If you're JD, you are the YouTuber, you are the host. I shouldn't be on the program better than you at it. This is what you do.
But you say you're better than me at it when
No,
I
I'm
have not
saying
even
I should
spoken on it.
never be.
But I've
I
not
should
spoken on
never
the matter,
be.
and
I just
I
use
just
you an no. I just
pastor.
use you as an example.
Pastor, what? Yeah, okay, yeah. But what? I understand what you're saying. But all I'm saying
Yeah.
is, I've outlaid something. Javier Brown not outlaying nothing. He's trying to play to compete, and it's not working. So I ask you, I think it's a bad example you're trying to use because you always make me have a fight, and you're trying to initiate a fight right now, and it's not going
No,
to
all right.
happen. All right? Yes, it's not
How
a
you
good
have
example.
outlaid it?
All right?
Let me help you level off that. How you have outlaid it? I can't
Yes.
compete with that.
Thank you
I
very
can't
much.
compete with that. So you would
Yes,
own
sir.
the space.
Oh my God.
I'm saying in respect of Javian Brown as a right back, you need to go on the field and do what you need to do so all onlookers realize who is the man, who own the space. So that's basically what I'm saying. He needs to own his space on the field. He has not done that in years.
All right. So let me go to the comment section. All right. All right. Top of the morning, Kush. Football Global said not disrespectful. Okay, no problem. Maybe I am just the one that takes it different. S Technic says up JD, the Arsenal hater. Oh my God. Yeah, one thing about them, they have avoid reality, So what they did, they bypassed what actually took place, the destruction of the big bad gunners. But tell you what, I am not going to argue the gunners. I have a video from yesterday for them over there. All right. Top of the morning, Kush. Big up yourself. Thanks for being here. Massive respect. Malachi TV. Big up yourself. Thanks for being here. Big baller. Benzema. Big up yourself. Massive respect. Claudine says, Duckland, um, what mischief you're handing out this morning. Then we have Jamaican family vibes. Said JD, is that your brother on the show? You'll you are look alike. I think he's saying right there. I think that's a lie. I think you're trying to disrespect me, but I'm going to avoid it. All right, and that is not meaning say I am disrespecting the pastor. All right, you hear me? Why don't just concentrate on football? Why just couldn't just be football? Why it have to be some Jamaican family vibes? Big up yourself. And Damien Dash's MLS turned him into a right back. He plays both position. Three, centre back in the three, and also right back.
JD,
He,
there's a comment I believe.
let me read to
There's
the
a
comment
comment I
section.
believe we need to up. There's a comment I believe we need to sir,
Ye-
that we need those persons who have access to his page could go on his page and put some encouraging word on it to support for the work that he has done for the country. So
All
I
right.
just wanted to highlight that.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
but I would have given him back your time, Pastor. Hold on. You have to learn YouTube, Pastor. It's gonna come back to you. All right. He's playing too scared. Kush says, "Real talk, Pastor. Big up yourself, know yourself. Thanks for being here. His game have not mastered movement and quick decision is off. Plus, he plays scared. Okay, so that's why he's not going there. You guys all think he has the talent. All right. He's using you as an example. No, I never heard him first determine, but I heard him after. And then Dockland says, remember you are the dirty YouTuber. Yes, I have remember that Dockland I have this everything off that. So that's why he gave me PTSD, Duckland. He gave me PTSD. JD, stop messing with Pastor. So what have I? All right, let me just move on. Real Baller said we need to go to Javin's page. Oh yes, nice, nice. All right. Um Ambitious Osla said gal clone JD. So ambitious Osla will be the first one to get blocked off our channel because I don't know what he comes here with and what life he
What's
has
that
or
about?
who he is. So ambitious Osla, this is not the place for you. All right. So we are going to just remove you from the channel because I think your level of
What
intelligence
that?
doesn't really come into this conversation and maybe the conversations that we're going to have in the future. So take care of yourself and have a nice life. All right. Bye bye. All right. So that is the end of ambitious um hustler, which we don't do. All right. Yeah, man. Big up yourself, Jamaican family. Massive respect. Lulu, big up yourself. Thanks for being here. Yeah, man. I can came in late. What's the issue with Javin Brown? No, we're just going over the players them. So ambitious hustler is the end of ambitious hustler here. All right. He is he has ended himself from the channel. All right. I don't know. He's gonna make a fake account and come. Ambitious, you have lacked in ambition. Let me move on. Um, Alvas Powell, Alvas Powell. Since Yedlin signed for Cincinnati, Alvas Powell came in Jamaica, played good, and even me saying that if the man play good and he's playing better than Javian, better than Gray, he should get the spot ahead of him. But it looks like Yedlin came in and Alvas Powell missed a lot of games straight. He played a little minute from the 15th, then he was on the bench for the 17th, 24th, 31st, 7th, and 14th. So Alvas Powell, what say you? You think that Alvas Powell is just out of it, or he should go somewhere else because Yedlin might be too good? What say you?
All right. This is a player that I really don't have a lot of positives about. But I will say the same I said about Javin Brown for him. When a good player comes in the team and or a player that the coach prefers, it is time for you to realize the importance of the rubber hitting the road, creating real traction. You have to do something to displace that player. I mean, your performance in training and practice games must open the coach eyes to something that you offer, which is more or above what that play. It's a competitive marketplace, JD, and
Okay.
everybody's play. The, those two players that you mentioned, they're playing the same position. No coach is going to take the lesser player. No sensible coach or no coach will
and
worth his
and that
salary.
that is going
No.
to be a part of our discussion, All right.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Go ahead.
yes.
Go ahead.
No sensible coach, no coach will worth his salary. Is not going to take is not going to take the lesser player to put in our system Bec- because you want to know that you have job security. So why would I put the weakest of my right backs to start against the biggest team? For example, let's say Man City. I want my strongest possible team to go play. It gives me my best chance for a positive outcome. Might not win, but a positive outcome. So for Alvas, I am not I'm not here blowing any smokes. It's not a player that I am so inclined to cheer for. No, no, no. And that's for a whole heap of different reasons. But the reality is, as professionals, you have to up your game to remain relevant because they're always competitors.
All right, and Yedlin is a very good baller. Yedlin came to the Premier League, plays for United States, so he brought over qualities. So it's not like Alvas Powell is getting left out because of a average player. Yedlin is a very good player, and he goes through the ranks, highest ranks. I want to come back with my follow-up question because my follow-up question will be nice as well. All right, Lulu, big up yourself. Chris Smith, big up yourself. Thanks for being here. One United, top of the morning. Ambitious hustler dead with laugh. All right. Chris Smith said, JD, the so-called golden generation, Maggie Brown. Oh my God. All right, I am going to leave that comment because I was going to go in that direction to ask a question, but let me continue. JD, yesterday you cost off 30 mans. Don't get miserable this morning. But real ball, I have already said what I said in that video. That means you never listened well. Because I told you that that video was for that video. All right, and I told you that I wanted to do that so I can control my own self. Warrior said, blessed morning, JD and all. We must always look to keep the platform professional, no idlers. Yeah, man, yeah, man, yeah, man, yeah, man, yeah, man. JD, I saw them get 9 from all on a Christmas, all on a man. And Nikkei says hi to you. Hope all is well. Owen in the building. Massive respect. Yes, guys. Once you come in, please do hit the like button, share, and subscribe. Let me know where are you typing from. Aubrey in the building. Jay Shy deleted his comment. Massive respect as well. Sports on the ball says one Phoenix. Don't know what he's talking about. Look like him either eat a phoenix or him have a phoenix pillow asleep on. Yes, two different type of phoenixes. All right, so he's outdated. All right. Why is no one talking about Norman Campbell? Think I need to watch him a little bit more, Mr. Dre. You know, because I don't come here to if I don't see the player or have it on my list, sometimes I kind of get distracted. That is true. So my spare time, I will use it to work on new other players to put into the thing. Pastor throw words on JD. Any farmer, any player for forming for the club should be considered for selection. Performing for the club, yes. But now he's out. You know, you don't rate him because him do something bad in the past to one of your favorite players. All right, JD, have you heard about Michael Form's situation? No, but no, I've not heard. I've not heard anything about that. But I'm going to have a discussion as to what Aldian said to me, something closer to that. But I will try and read up on that to give you a better understanding. You know, yes, and maybe do some research as well to get some more information directly before I do speak on that. Because I'm not, I'm trying to make sure we stay in a certain brackets. Yes. Big up yourself, Big Mish, Pagan, big up yourself, massive respect. So, anyways, let me just chop up that. So, why is it so much of our players from, and this is going to connect to our title as well. Most of these players were pushed through the time when Beckford said that they are putting players in the national team and it's not the same level. Come straight throughout the Beckford, the Mariapa starting phase, all of those phases. So this is why is it these guys cannot really sit down and stamp a place? Because remember, even Damien Lowe pretty much just reached the MLS level and just really getting some stable game time like a fully seasoned player. So the only person out of that bracket as a starter was Taxi to some point and Blake to some point. Everybody else out of that golden generation seems to always be on benches and stuff. Why they never translated as to how they got picked over other people in the national team? I think that's a fair one.
There's a there's a comment in the chat that spoke to the quality of players. JD and players will always get preferential treatment. The preferential treatment can only go so far on a coach's CV. It will go very far on a player's CV, but on a coach's CV, it can only go so far because coaches are graded by their win-loss ratio and the competitions which they enter their teams in. So you can put all the preferential treatment you want to put aligned with any player you feel like. But at the end of that game, it is the coach's CV that the coach is going to be graded on. Instructively, there are a lot of players named in that grouping, and all of them who seemingly were given preferential treatment by a particular coach all end up within the same frame of things. You would then have to question the sensibility or the professionalism of that coach or the coaching acumen of that coach in these preferential treatments being handed out. Because let's say you had 10 players. If more than five of those players suffering the same fate, which is negative, but these are considered by you as the best available, we would then have to ask best in comparable to what? And all of that falls on the coach. So I am not going to knock any player because no player selects themselves. A part of your title, which we will get to, is whether the administration is hurting the actual development of the game. This would be a case study for that part of the title. Did our coach in that era literally hurt the development of football in Jamaica by offering out preferential treatments when he could have literally dealt with quality that would have carried us further? This would have been a very good case study for that part of the title.
All right, fair enough, fair enough. Let me just go through it and then we can come straight back. All right. Let me get the rest of the comments that just came in. Norman Ra, but can be in the fold. What's up with Zimenez at Circle Burger? I am going to get a check on it and then get back to you guys as it relates to Zimenez. All right. Jason, go and bless yourself. Thanks for being here. Um, Real Bala said Phoenix cult is like Kawan or Conan or Quanan or whatever. Um, for people stateside. Okay. Jason Sakpase, Jason Ferran, that is. All right. JD, all of the golden generation gets a lot of chances. Yeah, but we are having a conversation aside because we have to make sure the conversation lead towards oh we can get this thing fixed because what I'm trying to lead it towards if we are making a mistake in the future. All right, because remember we have not moved away from this same pattern. What we did is just kind of limit it, or we kind of limit that problem. That's what we have done instead of actually get away from it overall. Mr. J says no. Pagan says the JFF didn't have enough professionalism at that time. Also, do they know? Do they know? Pagan, based off what you're assessing, do they have it now? Let me know. Mr. J said, to be fair, that was our golden generation for local players. It just didn't work out. So that's why we are asking the question: Should it care if we have a local? Should it care if we have a local generation? Should that be having nothing to do with selection? Because remember as what we said, you heard people coming out and saying that's a reason why they couldn't go anywhere because they have to always kind of live on to a policy that has to work with. So you have to win in spite of having other people with deficiencies on the field. So I'm asking, does it matter if it's a generation, the new generation of the local? Why it has to be that? You understand me? That's what I'm asking, and I think that is a strong, good question to ask right there. All right, because what we can't see translate nowhere. All right, nowhere. Even our biggest baller, which is Leon Bailey, what I've proven to you guys, what I've proven to you guys, he's still not a complete player to what the level we are expecting to be. Because I've proved here that he can't play in every system. And every single chance, when the team play a specific way, because of his limitations, he cannot be on the field until it changes if you don't want him to be a liability. And it proves that I was talking facts, but you guys never listened at the time. You guys thought that I was bad-minded, but all I was more educated at the time because I was watching the guy without blinders. You understand me? And clearly see it. And it happened every single time. Every time Aston Villa will come under every pressure and set a certain way, he cannot be on the field because clearly they realize that he's not a central striker and he's not a right midfielder. He's more of a winger, flat out. And he's devastating at doing that. That is very much true. And advocate, big up yourself. Yeah, man, he did his job yesterday, came and got the goal. Yeah. And Arsenal fan base is in meltdown. Meltdown. You understand me? So we can give him credit, but all I'm trying to say is if it doesn't matter what's going on. I just don't believe that the national team should be where everything comes together and crash and burn. It should have been where everything comes together and kind of uplift. And I think that is what's stalling us. I think from the lowest level, the national team should be where everything comes together and uplift. So that means you should assess the package and put the best package forward. It doesn't matter if it's under zero. It doesn't matter if it's under zero. I'm tired of these excuses of who's stopping development and everything. No, it's not a true case. It could have been under zero. It's supposed to evaluate and go with the best package to go forward, not winning in spite of the last under 20. Even though we said that um most of the other right guys them weren't available. Even in the selection of the team, you could clearly see that they're preferring players that are not as quality as the next one them on the bench. And you know when it tells me why I knew that was the case, when they were in trouble in the final game and they started to put man on when never actually started. And they're not hesitating to put those guys on. You know why I think so? Because they knew that the guys them were better from day one. But because it's like like it's just a flat out based on my assessment. I'm not gonna jump to say that it's a fact. It's based on my assessment. It's just a flat out. It's like them get a guideline when them have to follow, and you have to be successful in spite of that. It always give me that. Jamaica always give me that feeling as if like we have to work with a quota. It's just like Jamaica and quota just go hand in hand. It has to work that way, and it's really damaging things because what that does, the quota system what it does to me, I think what it does, it doesn't develop players. It doesn't actually develop players for me. I don't think so. The quota system doesn't develop players. It is there to showcase whatever level of development we claim that we have on the players and raw talent. So raw talent, raw talent that you could display. So a person will buy a raw package and try and see if they can improve that. But remember, the schooling is not as high either. So that's where most of them end up failing because they have not gone through the true process. To not that the raw talent was a physical raw talent, not necessarily the mental side. So it's always the mental side when I'm listening to all of them when they go over there. So it's like you're forced ripening certain things. It's like you're forced ripening a product that is nowhere near the end product. It's nowhere. It's like, oh, man, I forget the last chance. Yeah. So let me take it. The last chances are balloon, bro. You get me? The last chances are balloon. You don't force it. You don't force it, people. I'm very sorry, but that's what it feels to me. You get me? This quota thing need for the stop. You get me? It makes no sense. It's not helping anything because if you send a bag a person when I have no sense going away, it not gonna improve nothing. Them are gonna just not have the more. Them are just be egotistic and not no sense. So them not know where I go. Period. The only thing you're doing, you're delaying the time to show you that them not know where I go. And then at that time, you embarrassed a new generation that could have gotten educated and truly run competition with the next players them that is here to save you. That's what I truly believe. All right. So let me know your thoughts on it, Pastor, and then we take the comments them right after that. But that's what I've truly believed.
My thoughts on it are worse than yours. A fisherman or a fish vendor puts the stale fish on top to sell the rotten fish first because the fish vendor don't want to evolve into a good marketer of the product they claim to be selling. So rather than move the product fast because of the quality of the product, you have to keep back the good one so you can sell the rotten fish first. And I'm using that analogy pointed straight at the Jamaica Football Federation. The quota system is a fish vendor selling rotten fish at the expense of the quality fish hidden off somewhere. So the consumer is deprived of the good product because of your insularities, inefficiencies, dwarf mentality, and poor behavior.
Oh my God, them say JD a fish. Oh my God, pagan. Oh Lord, pagan. What did I do for me to be a fish?
The the,
Go ahead,
the, the,
Pastor.
the thing is, the
Jesus.
thing is, the day we get rid of the quota system, where the quality of the product is what sells the product, Jamaica football will start developing. Because no football development is not going to happen without a level playing field for fair competition to take place. The cream will come to the top. Competition, the best selected, we will get better quality players. Without you having something to, how do you talk about best or good player, better players and good players when you're not comparing it with anything? What if you
Very good point,
compare
Pastor.
the Jamaica football level, not development, the level with anything outside of Jamaica? That's the only time you can say better or best.
Very good
The
point.
only time.
But
And the
Pastor,
reality shows that on the international stage, we are not competing.
I am doing some checks, and you think that this is the problem. On the boards are on in and around the boards, you have people that connects the clubs. Right. So you think that those policies with these quota systems kind of designed that way to make sure these people always benefit directly to the cause. Like make sure that it's always a way to get a player through the system. Let me know because what I wanted to go deeper now, I wanted to say because of them setting the policy for themselves to benefit off that, it end up helping other people to make the system worse. Because look at this. Look at this now, Pastor. Um, in Jamaica, anybody can own a academy. Anybody can own an academy. They have not no clear closed down rules. Because I think once you have academy, you should have license, a full license. You should have a full agent license as well, right? And you should have a full facility if you have a age if you have an academy. I think that academy thing is almost close to child trafficking in Jamaica. But the only sad thing is because most of the family them kind of agree with it because it's like a meal ticket in America and in the rest of the world, majority of the rest of the world, people kind of grow their kids and make sure they facilitate them to the right cause. In our country, we have to be honest, 17, 18, it's like we are the one who have to step up to take care of our family. You understand me? And
You
I
know
know
what
that
you
that
just
is the problem right there because a lot of people pretty much selling them kids to people that are not professional. They have no experience in these things. So I saw kids overseas in foreign country not have nothing, a struggle and all them stuff there when really and truly, if you had a professional system, you could have either sue the entity that's bringing the kids there. You'd have gotten more information, and even other other people might, if it was more professional, it could have you could have reached places. So you think that because of the JFF, implementing these policies, it kind of damaged Jamaica football, period. Because that's why I've kind of linked everything, and I'm gonna go back to that academy thing, But I'm gonna link everything in one just to show you. That's what I try to do, Pastor.
What you just said a while ago literally bring tears to my eyes because it should not have taken me this long to say what I'm going to say now. In my first pastoral district, I started a school, a basic school at one of the churches. The red tape and provisional stipulations for you to operate an institution with children. And I'm saying it here. The CDA in Jamaica need to look at the laws that are there or that are absent from the running of these academies as it relates to the care that is legally required for someone to take care of a person's children. There is no way that academies should be so easily sprung up in Jamaica without government legal approvals because these are the future of the country. If Jenny, I had to go in negotiations and get cleared at so many different levels to have that school. Remember, this is a church already established. The church is operating within all the legal framework in the country. But we still had to go through to get the permission to start the school. And for all of those who might be wondering, this is something you can go check. You can look on YouTube and wherever you will see the Pastor Blake be at the school when it was being opened. We got the building from Food for the Poor, whatever. And so I'm saying this to say that all of these foolishness, what am I do? It is exactly trafficking in children and child labor laws being broken and child abuse being meted out to how can you carry someone's child from one country across another sovereign border and that child is not fully prepared for? A straight prison work them, There's no two ways to say it. And JD, the answer is yes. That is directly responsible for the crippling of the football product in Jamaica. Because if the children are not brought through the proper systems with requisite checks and balances, it's bound to have more negative repercussions than actual beneficial reapings for anybody.
All right. Guys, make sure to smash the like button, share, and subscribe. That we get it. Lovely boss, love life boss said yes. You're right, JD. That is it. No, because I've sit down and look at it, and I'm realizing some things in our country is just too free for all. We see people like L.A. Lewis can just walk one down and become famous. You understand me? It's too easy access, man. You have to put some educational blockage there for people to invest some time so they don't want to make it slide so easy because it takes a little time to gain it. And that's why sometimes people can say, oh, I'm educated, me don't me not have the most education but me can do more. Oh, no problem. But the fact that they go through the process of getting the education, you know that once it gets taken away from you, it's gonna take a next time. But if you know you can just build an academy, instant. I heard that Mr. Speed said that they would have enforced some laws, but I'm surprised that that never enforced. And I'm just saying that little problem right there with the quota system and these free for all, anybody can speak up, anybody pitting, and if the family them can just be brainwashed easy, which is not hard in Jamaica. It's just not hard. You get me? Because we just don't have the level of understanding what's really going on. And once you sign off, it's just very, very easy. You get me? Because that simple means you are giving consent. You get me? And you don't know what's really going on. And I think that is a big part of not getting us. develop the right way, because a lot of persons can just have a kid for 2 3 years. They are not really learning much. They are developing big and strong because we have a big and strong genetics. But that doesn't necessarily mean you really know anything until you reach 22, 23. Then you realize you know reach nowhere. You might get a 6 months salary out of your whole time, and then you have come back to Jamaica, and then I look up in the stars, and then I complain, and then I blame everybody else at that point. But if we had a better infrastructure set up, as in rules, so not even necessarily the infrastructure as yet, if the rules were enforced, it would have built better bridges today. That's all I'm going to say right there. Let me take the comments and come through. Aubrey said, JD, we need to have a nucleus of players that can train together outside international breaks. Tell you what, Aubrey, we think we need to start that as well. We think we need to get a nucleus good players or a good infrastructure. Then we can always have that nucleus. It's going to just overflow like other places, because we always complain to say that, oh, that our region, we don't have this or that. Well, Trinidad have a good amount of baller. Them just start with them league. Costa Rica have unlimited amount of baller for come through them league. You understand me? So if you set something better, let me stop trying to run down the ready down thing, which is like not the ready done, because ready done would have been the English players them, which is needed. But all I'm saying, let we set a structure first, rather than just I try go for whatever we have now, because whatever we have now at local might not be properly developed, and we are waste the time there upon that exact investment, and not realize if we put it in on the kids them now, we might reward faster. All right. Generally, JFF no seek the right help. Perhaps it's pride and fear of looking incompetent. Okay, fair enough. JD, don't you think if the young team has half overseas born players with half home born players, don't you think the team will still be a good enough team? It all depends, because it's not about overseas or local born. It's about what is there at both levels. So that's where the unbalance come in, because it can be Liam Bailey was born in Jamaica, but because his production, his development took place different places with strict rules, he tend to become a better asset. You understand me? It becomes better. So it's not where you actually born. We only use the example as overseas because we know that the infrastructure was there. That's all. JD, we are a developing country. Can't expect so much. The problem is I've talked about the rules. So why is it rules are just verbal things first, and then you put them on paper? So why is it you can't put the rules in place? That's all,
JD,
So that's why I
on
never
that,
wanted to.
on that,
One second,
on that
let me
one,
just clear this faster. DRH said, but are you saying anything local cannot be the best? No, I've not. I've just cleared up that as well to say that Liam Bailey came from Jamaica. But because of what was installed at Genk, him couldn't just go at Genk and sit down and not play the football. He have to go through all the policies them that's there. But the difference is the policies them that not in Jamaica, there's no policy. You just do what you want to do. Everybody structure them thing them own way. You have to stand up and call it as it is. You understand me? Um, get the analogy, but you can't gatekeep fame, JD. Oh God. All right. JD English player. Them are go here soon. I am not against English players. Why would you say that? I am just trying to get things running smoother, and I'm just saying the JFF might have to take a strong bridge right there and said, this is the rule, this is what you have to do, and that is how we are gonna run the ships them. All right, so it's not gonna just rely on a parent come and sign a paper and then a kid gone overseas. Because the policies are there, you can develop better from 14 to 17, because it's mandated to do so, and that's where I think you're going to get the true level of players to compete with the English based guys them. Go ahead, Pastor.
yeah, JD, on that one that you dealt with in the chat about Jamaica as a sovereign state may very well be in the top 5 countries that have the most laws that are not enforced on the books. And that is why Shields could make the statement. The British policeman that was brought in to assist with crime control. Jamaica is a lawless society because the laws are sometimes there, but the administrative body to enforce the law has fallen asleep. I bet you that if checks are made with agencies like the CDA and those agencies that deal with children welfare in Jamaica, there are laws that strictly prohibit the actions of some of these people that are running academies in Jamaica. I am willing to, I don't gamble. I would gamble on that. It is a rotund, destructive methodology in Jamaica where we only in parliament legislation is considered. The common man on the road does not pay attention to the value of having legislations that keep a culture progressing and in a particular line. And it has hurt us and continues so to do because JFF like to say at them run football in Jamaica.
Mm-hmm.
How then do you not have laws constitutionally binding that requires
But
that
pastor,
all football affiliates
but what I'm going to do, I'm not going to. I They should have had it before, but because they told me that it's something coming, I should have come already. I am going to ask them back. Because you know what I like, Pastor, with this reasoning. When a player when a team buy a young player under a certain age, do you know that it's mandated for them to have schooling and everything to get them up to normal speed to be a functional human being in the next country, in England, in
an
Birmingham, in
academy,
Belgium, in
an
Netherlands?
academy, an academy. The word academy is not just practical education you get. You must get theory. So in terms of being able to do, I just worked 3 weeks with an academy last year in getting whatever theoretical education you're required at your age group level. You get practical education also. In their case, their practical education is football. They must be given, all right, a person who is being prepared to be a professional footballer must go through some amount of oral communication courses, speech therapy courses, voice and diction, so you're able to present yourself in a public space. How many of our local born players you hear talking and you have to be scratching your head? Did they go to school?
But
Any player that goes to academy must have these things.
but that's and this is what that's why I took this angle of the conversation, because it just shows you people that and I would love for Mr. Speed and those guys listening to this, because I think this is the sole thing to make you guys campaign be successful. Enforce a rule that you don't have average human being pretty much a bid for people pitney. All right, pretty much a bid for people pitney. So it's like Jamaica is just a place where you just bid for whosoever pitney you want to have, and it has been there for a solid 20 years now, because we're a right market, we are.
Your internet is chipping out. If you're hearing me, you're frozen. Yes, you're back. I'm hearing you now. Yes.
Going on. All right. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. Um, LJ clearly not based on the Bailey interview. I look like a storm coming, a thunderstorm. Okay, I should be back now. I should be back. Sorry about that. So because it look like hail falling and all of those stuff. So I just believe that that can solve it, people. So I think what we're asking for is not as hard as what we first thought. Because I'm gonna look at. So I never wanted to bring up this example. 2 days ago, someone sent me something on my phone, and I saw I think I saw a video of someone sent me military video, military Guna. I don't know if you know him, Pastor, but military Guna. I saw a touch on the topic, and I was saying that when I listened to it, I thought the military did a good job. He did a good job on it because you know why I said he did a good job, because one of the men that we are saying is that says out of his own mouth, I am here to bring back Jamaica football. Right. When I listen to the conversation, which I have the evidence coming from the person, and I'm saying, how can you say you're here to um develop youth, but you saw a break? Not because what you're saying is not accurate, because you're classing the guy as a schoolboy. When the guy is older than Whisper, he plays in the Premier League. He got more time. He got more time as it relates to um being around the national team. Because remember, this project came in after Whisper got the help that he needed to go to Chelsea. You understand me? So the fact that you come up and say that Whisper never get picked, and they brought Kaim Dixon, and on top of that, you were actually on, because I saw him commented, because when the rumors were closing down and Kaim Dixon to go places, the man out there like him, I try defame or drop the conversation as it relates to Kaim Dixon truly gets a call up to go places, or people really want him and them stuff there. And I'm saying, why are you here? Every chance you get, you're trying to take down um a next player that could make Jamaica better. Oh, that makes sense. You understand me? And I had to use him as an example because I wanted to bring a next example too, as well, from both sides, just to show you that it is the fight for a player. Because the first time I heard it, I heard that that guy wanted that player, and people had to step in for him not to get that player before even all of this. And oh, ironic, look at the way you're talking about the kid right there. So that tells me that it's just the fight for players rather than the fight for developing players. You understand me? Because the access is too easy. But that is just one point. I am just showing you. That is just one point. I'm just showing you. You get me? So the reason why I show it from that point, because that is an academy. But I've started from where the JFF started through the JFF. And crab in a barrel to try anything they can get them on people. You understand me? Because there's no rules there. But at least if we had rules, we could know say a man have an agent license, him have a football license, and obviously him have the academy has to have everything to make sure these kids get what they want, and it's mandated for them to go to school and all of those things. I heard Whisper come up and say him not go to school. That's what Whisper come out and say him not go to school. Those things have to be mandated. So in the future, if I'm not saying this is now, so people that make sure you comprehend properly. All right. So in the future, if he has any problem that it's educational thing that stops him, I have to blame you. Not Phoenix. I'm going to blame. I'm going to blame Jamaica Federation, because they were the ones to install these things, that it's mandated to do so. Don't tell me that him have family and family should have sent him go to school and rare. No, me no want to hear that. I am going to blame the JFF because these things should be mandated. It should be mandated. You get me? It should be mandated. So it's not about him going to school. You have to go to school, and it is enforced on the on the federation, and the the development place them, which is the what you call it, the same thing that we're talking about. Um, to do these things. So you know that if him don't go to the school, that your license will be revoked. You understand me? So it's mandated for them to do these things, and it's beneficial for them to do these things. So that it's a deep one, you know, people. It's a deep one, you know. So make sure Narmy Ford, I had said he said it out of his own mouth. So if it's not true, Narmy Ford, it's what he said I am trying to relate to. And that was not the point of the conversation. The point of the conversation was to say that I want I want to make sure, yes, I'm okay, Diamond Peter. I'm okay, I'm okay. I want to make sure you get penalized for certain things so the kids then be better. Please don't listen to the messenger alone. Don't fight the messenger. Listen to the message coming. All I'm saying is I want these kids because I think that it's affecting them on the field as well. Because if you're not fully equipped to deal with normal lives, you might not be fully equipped to deal with normal. You might not be fully equipped to deal with the field as well. All right. But JD, them no want no them education cause them easy to manipulate. Well, we are trying to cut out all of that. No, the kids that we are fight for. Norman Ford said he didn't take school seriously, not that he didn't go to school. Norman Ford, please go back and listen to it one more time. Just please go back and listen to it one more time, please. Norman Ford, before you say that himself, please. All right. And the point what I was trying to me just want Norman Ford go back and listen to it again. Because Norman Ford sometimes remember that's a point me I try making us. So we don't want to lament on this too long. Because I know that some people that can't comprehend properly will take it out of context. So I know what he said. I had the clip. So you understand me? I just want that to be the case because I want these people. So if them go to school, JD, and not that smart or can't comprehend, should they stop playing football? No, Alj, I'm telling you, Alj. All right, Alj, you know what I'm gonna say? Make them go to school and fail then. Let them go to school and fail then. Because over here they can give you several different ways, Alj. They will they 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 will try their best to work with you because it's not every and people can learn at different stages. Alj, they can learn at different stages. I'm telling you, it's just the time you need to take with them, look at their learning patterns and work with that. But it has to be mandated that these guys be surrounded by people that likes them. I think these people are surrounded by people that's exploiting them rather than liking them. That's what I think. That's what I think, Alj. Because remember, I'm looking at what's happening over here, you know. And remember, we said we are trying to achieve what's worldwide standard. Well, this is worldwide standard. This is worldwide standard, Alj. You understand me? So it's even worse because some of the academies has to have schooling on them as well, Alj. That is the difference. Some of them have to have schooling on it because you can't take people pity and just have them all over the place and you them not learn nothing. Because they want to be at least somewhat of sensible to sign a contract at the end. Why the sense you want to be the best footballer if you're the biggest idiot? So that means you just be the biggest footballing idiot then. You understand? Because you're going to be exploited. So they want to make sure at the end of that physical training, you are equipped to live a normal life. They have always done that. And I think that's what Jamaica feels these kids in. I don't agree, UJD fully blame the JFF. All right. I saw you calling, but I'm taking the internet from the next phone, Minister Nashan. So that's why I never answered it. Sorry about that, yeah? You said I don't agree. You fully blaming the JFF. But if they are the ones installing the rule, big boss. So oh you mean me not fully blame the JFF them? Please educate me on that one. Oh you mean we don't fully blame the JFF when them install everything? I can't blame anybody else. I can't blame the academies them because if you have a route that you don't have to put a school and the academy, you don't have a main place for your academy, and it costs less money. Of course, I'm going to take the easier route. Just look at it from that standpoint, no. Maybe some of them don't want to exploit the kids, you know. Maybe but because it's the easiest option and they get into this position, they're going to just do what's best fitted for them. So sometimes maybe it's not them really want it, but that is the only thing that presents them itself, and you can take advantage of it. You know, what you think about Mount Pleasant, JT? I'm JD. My name, JD is my name, not JT. Yeah. Mount Pleasant, they have a lot of capital. I've heard that they worked with other academies and trying to strengthen other academies. They make sure the players them go to school. That is what they have connected to it. So I think that person trying to do the right thing for the people them. Naturally, obviously, people would say that he has a lot of money, but everyone would have to follow the same rule as him. Because remember, York Castle, they send majority of their players to York Castle to make sure they go to the school. They have I heard that they have a pass marking system or they have an attendance system. So they are trying to so that means you're gonna tell me that Mount Pleasant operating better than Jamaica. Oh, that makes sense. So that maybe that's where the nation point come in. It come down to how people view things then. Because if we're gonna say that we heard that Mount Pleasant doing all of these things, that means it come down to some of the people in discretion as well today. JD, remember some people are just technically at things while some are very good at books. Okay. But Leroy Bailey, I may tell you say that yo, I tell you say that is not true still, we put that, we implement, we just build that, I'm telling you, man, if your effort is there, in UK, you would be charged if your kids is out of school for a time. Yeah, that in the entire Europe, if my kid miss um a day without a doctor's paper, it's going to be a problem. If they missed a certain amount of days, you're going to be in serious trouble. All right. Aubrey said Butler and Speid exploiting youth players. I am not. I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna talk on it, but I'm going to keep on research on it. And once I come to my full understanding, I am going to say it public. All right, I'm going to say it public. Because they have the place, they have in place for those who play in schoolboy football. They must have a certain grades in school. All right. So after the school, Minister Nashan, after the school, oh, you said because they have put certain things in place. Fair enough. Fair enough. Minister Nashan. Fair enough. Good look. Good way you look at it. No problem. But at the same time, Minister Nashan, schoolboy football is not a real football. To be honest, schoolboy football is not a real football. We made it that way. It's not a real competition. It's not a real competition for the JFF. The thing is when you want to go beyond that. So once you're not in school playing football, that is what the Jamaica JFF should be responsible for. So football in development and all clubs from youth 15, 17, 20 going up. All right. So Know Yourself said Butler has the money to get a top professional academy with the world standard in Jamaica. Why does he chose not to do so? I don't think you have the money so easy, You don't think so, everybody else have so much money, Because it might take a lot to do it, But if the rules are in place, then you will know who have the money from who don't. I am not 100% sure if he has the money as well, But I think if the rules were in place, you have to get the money. You get me? Alj, you joking. If you're not educated in football today, you sign away your rights. I think in a lot of things. In a lot of things. In a lot of things, you sign away your rights. Europe and Jamaica, two different standard. I understand, Alj, I understand. But remember, you're developing them to go to Europe. So how can they be successful if you're going to eventually come into this into this standard? Answer that, Alj. If you're going to eventually come into this standard, you're developing people for this standard, and they don't have the standard. Are they not going to be starting from the back of the class? Alj, just answer me there. And if you can tell me anything aside from yes, you are biased there. All right. All right. All right. Where is your accountability in life? Question. Damien that said that's how many Jamaicans think. If a child doesn't develop as fast as others, they label the child and then make it worse. Damien Dash and you know it took me to come here to figure out those things and say that no, it doesn't matter what you're saying. People at taking time at situations help it out every single time. So if the only way you're going to know if the person is a slow person or a faster person is if you assess the situation properly and you take the time because the slower person will require more attention, more time. You have to spend it because if you want to reap the reward at the end, that will make you cut less lines because you have to spend extra time. So if a man is classed as dunce and he requires more time to get it together, well, now you know that he has the talent, but you have to spend the time on him to get him up to that level, academically and also in his feel as well to make sure he has the best thing going forward. You get me? And that is what I think is stopping Jamaica from developing because over the last 15, 20 years, and even beyond that, because we went 30 years ago. Players came back and it was because of them not equipped to deal with certain things. You still had the Fuller and the Gardner that goes over there and stayed. But you have a lot that went over there and came back. More came back from than who stayed. People every single time. That in the last 30 years, more stayed, comes back in the last 30 years than who stayed. He was smart enough to not sign anything. Okay, people need to start looking for better in everything and want better for self. Go school, man. But I'm telling you, I in the know it is very sad because I think it started from our culture and the way how we think. Because what the big difference? All right. So for instance, me growing up, I am from Waltham. Right. I'm from Waltham. Guys, remember to smash the like button. We are closing on to the end of the video. All right. So, or you click the like button, you click the top of the video, you will see a triple dot at the top of the video, and then you will see the option come up for hitting the like button. We need like 20 more likes to reach 100. So do that for us. So me born in a certain location because I don't think it's every location in Jamaica. I think the poorer parts, definitely this is what I know is almost certain for everybody. So coming up through jungle, coming to Walton Park Road, obviously my family never really had certain things until a certain point. So my family had to leave Jamaica to have a certain thing. Right. You reach into to 70, 16, 17, you already have to start thinking, oh, you're going without even kids, you have to already start thinking, oh, to take care of your family, and yourself, because your family don't have enough and yourself don't have enough. So you already design yourself to start forcing to push yourself out. Over here, my lady already, even though our family might not be the richest, they've already designed, so the culture designed for them to take a little bit more care of them kids for a longer period until they can self-sustain. And I think that is one of the biggest problems. The reason why I've said that is the fact that because at 17, you had already started to look out to come and take care of your family, right? What that does now, if you're 15 and your mother know that, okay, if you get two, if your mother or father know that if you sign a paper and you get 2 3 months, that might be for the rest of your life based on the conversion rate. If you can just get 2 3 months, they have just signed off your rights for people to ill treat you, and then mentally you are not physically developed or not the proper way. You understand? It start block you from being the human being that you are, and that's where the trafficking comes from. That's where the trafficking comes from, because that kid was not fully developed because he's 15 years old when he signed to some place, and go through that, and is like you're just designed to take care of your say family by force. So that's where the trafficking comes from. So even though your mother rightfully signed it, because you are not developing properly as a human being, and it's like you're just becoming a money machine because a structure is not in the country to um help you to make the right, help your parents to make the right decision and not just the right decision in their brains. You understand me? And that's what I think happened for the last 30 years. And that's what is stopping the overall progression of Jamaica football at this point. You understand me? So you have to look at it. Our culture is connected to it. But if you make the rules and put the laws in place, we have to abide by the laws. Or people go into prison. You understand me? People go into prison. That is what, if that enforced tomorrow, I can tell you within 5 years, you have better structure and better footballers coming through. You don't have one Whisper, one Kaim Dixon. You have 50 of them. Because I saw Kingston Academy trying to do some things the right way, getting certain conversation going. And I saw the players, them, they kind of come through, and I'm saying, damn, what if this is the standard going forward? That means everybody would have to, would have try and learn certain things, go at certain places, have a certain pass mark. Because when I spoke to the Kingston Academy guy, the way they're telling me what they have enforced for the kids, them, you can clearly see that, okay, so that's why you might not see one of them rush to move the kid if it's not the right decision, because they're saying they want them to reach this and this, and they have a certain set of people that make sure they reach this standard before they do it. You understand me? And that's all I want. I think that is the only way we're going to compete with the next part that we have. JD, mind the people them say you bad mind Craig. No, but I've not talked about Craig. I'm assessing the overall thing in Jamaica, because remember Maggie was not signed to Craig. Maggie came out and said the same thing. You had three other guys that came out the other day. Daly came out and said the same thing. He was not signed to Craig. So what are you talking about? And went for 30 years ago. I went for 30 years ago. Walter Boy didn't go to foreign and come straight back. I have the clip of people talking about it. So what are you talking about? I have gone so deep. So if that's what you think after this conversation, that is very, very too simple, Baggio. That is very, very too simple, Baggio. All right, because I've gone to 30 years ago. Mr. Butler never have players 30 years ago. So in the world you think that I would have been talking to Mr. Butler? No, man, I've gone to 30 years ago, man. This was a deep yeah. You say Craig might have not have the money. Oh, yeah, because what I was talking about is to set up a field and put everything in place. I said maybe he might not have the money. But but the thing is, the thing is, Ricardo, it's not. That's why these reasoning is not for the shallow minded and the persons that can't comprehend anything. That's why I've made sure I've set up myself from yesterday in because I know what I'm going to be doing going forward. And all my reasoning will set going forward. So if they think that I actually said something like that, I think they have not listened to what I've said. And it was in favor of the person and that specific topic when I was actually saying it. JD, he can get the money from BLU. I know. But that's why I've said then they have to go out of their way. So if they take the money from somebody else, no, they have to abide by the rule. So they don't want to be fined and then have to owe double the money and can't repay back the money. So when you put rules in place, people have to abide by it because it costs them more. But if it costs you nothing to do what you're doing, then you can take more risk and you can be as crude as possible. So now you get what I'm saying. That's what I was saying from day one. All right. That's what. No, 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 Ricardo. I'm not talking you, Ricardo. I'm just saying the people that would think that way. I know what you meant, but I'm saying those people, those are the simple people that I'm trying to move away from because I realize that their cult really follow that path, which is very, very simple. You understand me? Yeah, man. But I understand you, Ricardo. But Ricardo, yesterday I came out praising Bailey. And people said to me, the reason why I'm praising Bailey is because he made Manchester City go to the top of the thing. So I think even when I'm doing the right thing, they're gonna always say the opposite, Ricardo. So I don't take it as that. My interest is to make sure a standard is in place. Just give it a try and see if it does make things better. Because I'm gonna tell you that it's going to make things better in so much ways. Because you know why? If you can't, it, all right, no problem, Aubrey. Thanks for passing through, man, and massive respect for everyone that took their work time to come here, man. Big up for that, man. Always respect for the support that you guys gave to the channel. Good performance by Leah and Bailey. I had said that, you know. Butler means Jamaica football good. Sims, based on what I'm seeing, I am not sure if that's the case, and I'm not sure if even the JFF handle is that the case as well. I can't definitively state that one person mean Jamaica football good. You understand me? And because I can't flat out say that. I think he has helped some kids get places, but I can't flat out say that. And for what's his name again? And the next guy that sells players as well. I can't say that because I need more rules in place. And then after that, now that's where I'm gonna judge to see if these people are willing to go the extra mile to put these kids through schooling, see what they can do after, and survive in different locations. Once I see that start to happen, then I can say, yes, Mr. Butler, mean these kids good. Cohen mean these kids good. Mr. Speid means these kids good. You understand me? When I have the proof. For now, I just see the kids them, they are getting contract, yes, and directly the people them selling the players them get the money, and then the kids them coming back after a little time. So I can't say I have gotten any proof to say that these guys mean Jamaica good. I don't see that as yet. But once that time comes, I will give all of them credit. All right. Fabian Full says Butler only likes Phoenix. It could come off that way, but because I don't have the proof, the full proof as yet, because nothing is in writing that they set a rule so we can know what these people love. So if we know they are starting at a loss, then we can say, yeah, these people love these people. They are making sure people going to school every day. If they don't do the right thing, people come out and beat them and say, yo, this is me. This is the way it should go, or else. You understand me? When I see these players developing at a different level, then I can come out and say that. But at this point, very sorry, I can't say I've seen none of these guys clearly love these players. No, agency is just people. It's a conversation we have, and your boss actually the conversation because he owns an academy, so people brought out name and stuff. And we are talking about the JFF mainly. So if you come here and think that we are beat the Phoenix, only be wrong because we said that JFF should put these things in place. Is we never beat the boss, all right? We never did so. um, these kids um these kids go school. KC champ, champion and Phoenix go Mona. CB doesn't put Jamaica first, bro. I understand that. Pega, you guys listen to him a little bit more than me, and I never wanted to put it on one focus person because we have a lot more academies there. All right, what we saw from Kingston Academy, they are doing good, but you have Ballers, you have Mount Pleasant connecting to other places. We heard about what they are doing and stuff, but we want it to be mandated so every academy um persons can just go to, and they have a standard rule that you have to oblige by that rule. That's all we want for the upcoming future. Yeah, that's what I would like. And when I'm talking to Mr. Speid, I'm gonna try to write something together and then ask him those questions. You know, like if we don't see this as more of the way to go for the success of the youth them and show them the stages, what I think could make the kids them better, like perform better because they are more comfortable and fitted in. You understand me? Yes. All right. Sim says I listen to you every show. You got I respect your. All right, well, I'm trying my best. I'm trying my best because I think that is something that I'm looking at because I was at a school, and based on what I saw at the school, I'm saying maybe this is the reason why we are not doing as good because look at how much they have put into these kids from early. I know that we don't have the capital, but if we set the infrastructure in, like not the infrastructure, just the rules, then we buy Chris cars every day. So if the rule go in the future, if the rule go in the future, say take the car money and go spend on the kids them because you're gonna make the money in the end. Well, that is how it is. People have to once you put rules in, people tend to always conform to it. So, and after a time, you're gonna start bear the fruit. And it's gonna become the next thing. The problem is we always want to not have any rules, and that's just the sad thing. We always want to not have any rules. Yes, so that is the problem. Sports and the ball says one Phoenix. A minister said I accept that. Does Mr. Cohen help to develop players, or he's just an agent? I think he's just an agent for now. For now, all right. Richard Crawford said both you and Speed for step down. But Richard Crawford, if I'm trying to offer some reviews based on what I'm seeing here in high profile places, and I'm just saying that this can be better for the kids overall if you enforce those rules, Richard Crawford. If you love Jamaican kids, you don't think so? What me I say makes sense? Or you're saying that it's because of me I said it should not be valid. That's what you're saying, Richard Crawford? Let me know. Policy, because I think that is unfair if you're just looking because it's me saying it. Remember, I have the luxury to go to these places, you know. You understand me? And see what is needed, you know. Because that's why they're getting the success. Remember, that's what we're trying to achieve to get players to the level of the other players, them. Even our best players them seems to can't keep up with the average players them worldwide. You don't realize that, Richard Crawford. So we're trying to get more kids naturally go there. That's all. Kevin, big up yourself. Thanks for being here. Neil Garden said, JD, to be honest, Jamaica is not a sporting country. Hence, rules are not in place. Everyone wants to cut corner. Yeah, that is the truth. But we know that. We know that Neil Goldson. So because we know that, why we can't do something about it? Because remember the last time, they had said that they're gonna regulate the academies, because they realize a lot of kids them they're in the academies. And that was because the youth 17s weren't held at the time, U20s weren't held at the time. Those things never. So at the same time, the academies were kind of saving Jamaica youth development as well because we never had those competitions. We never had those competitions. So that's what I'm saying, Minister Nashan, because we never had those competitions. So at the same time, the academies helped us. The academies helped us, All right. So they helped us in a period, but that still don't mean we should just avoid it. Avoid the rules. I think it's time for the rules get in place. I think it's time for the rule get in place. The academies did help us over the last 4 or 5 years when we don't have these competitions. That is true. All right. So I'm not pretending like the academies never helped us, but it's time for the rules to come in, people. I'm just saying that. And I'm telling you, you guys within a year and a half will be saying the same thing as me. When you see when the favorite player them can't survive in a modern days when all of the information is just public. Just watch. Big up yourself, Richie. Massive respect. Thanks for being here. David J said, yeah, man, the system need rules, laws, and sanctions that protects the players and seek best for them. I think so. All right. Depend on which sport, as we do well in track and field. But a lot of rules there in a track and field. A lot of rules and laws there in a track and field. You know why? Because we invested so much money in it. A good example. Track and field. I want you to go to one of the coaches them. or go to one of the track clubs. The clubs them have so much rules instated there, and you're gonna realize, you know why? Because for a man investing money now, him gonna do the right things them. For him know him can get penalized for certain things, him gonna do the right things them. You have bodies that you can go and complain to. So remember, remember we had incidents the other day, and we saw those things took place, or they sorted it out. Remember? We used to have U21s. That is true, Neil Garden. We used to have U21s the other day. Used to have the U21s, and I think that I know I've spoken to some of the guys them that's in Jamaica, and they're saying that it was very hard to keep up with the U21s. And I heard them saying that they're gonna bring it back. They're gonna bring it back this time. Eliminate the conflict of interest and the corruption. The perception of corruption will improve. That might be true as well. That might be true as well. That might be true as well. Sing. Richard Crawford said fire Craig Butler. All right. No, he said fire, like big up Craig Butler. That's what he meant right there. He put two fires. Yes, that's what he meant there. I saw a video of Kobarsi getting standing ovation from his high school after putting a padlock on Mbappe. Okay, okay, nice. Neither CB nor Speed should have an administrative position in the JFF and own a club or an academy at the same time. And Warrior said JD Spade destroyed the women's program. He's he's vindictive. He's a vindictive person, not better than Butler. All right. All right. I love the fact that you guys are being genuinely honest throughout this. All right. And I wish somebody see this program and really look on it for what I try to make it. All right. Good footballers should be able to handle a 3 minutes interview easily, JD. Well, a lot of people will go for the one person that they saw from outside not connecting to Jamaica, handle it well, and then said this is the case. Oh, see other people have the problem and try to generalize it, which I agree with you, but that's how they are because they want things to stay the same, which I fully agree with you, fully. All right. So fling with speed. Pagan. All I want, all I want is just the right thing, Pagan. If they had all of the persons them there and then put the rules in place, they are obviously they are gonna get fined if they do anything wrong. That's all I'm saying. Marlon Nelson, big up yourself, my brother. Thanks for being here. Said the under 21 league produced a lot of players. All right. So if we not having it, Marlon, what that tells us. You think that it has made things better? Let me know, or you think that it made things significantly worse. Let me know. All right, thanks guys for the 100 likes. Massive, massive respect. Pastor, you can jump off of the stream, so me alone can stay on the front because me only have around 10 minutes. So you can just disable it and then me alone can stay on the front, all right? Because me can't kick you off. 1 second, let me see if I can kick off Pastor. Okay, yes, I can remove the guest. All right, so I've removed the guest people so I can be on the screen by myself. JD, what's your opinion on Speed based on his position? He explained something to me the other day, but I've not gotten enough time to really assess it, like to see what they're doing. I want to get 2 3 months to see what they truly have, because what he said he was the one that changed the rules from the quota system in the national team and gave the coaches the um full role to pick whatever they want, which I think is true right there. So I gave him credit for that. But I want to see how he deals with other things aside from just those rules, like enforcing something like this that affects him as well. And then I can judge him off that. Then I can judge him off that. You understand me? I want to see something like that. JD, you getting very fuzzy on very fuzzy on the topic. I don't know why you think I'm getting fuzzy. I told you that I have to pretty much approach everything from a more balanced perspective and try to see where I can do more. That's what I'm trying. When will Rudolph Speid be fired from the national team? JD. How long is JFF? How long is his JFF contract? We have to ask him. I think he might get the contract the next 4 years as well. I think so. Does he deserve it based off the last one? I don't think just changing the rules for the coaches would be good enough for me. I think you'd have to enforce more things for me to say that you deserve the job. So I would say at this point no. But if he does more things, I could say, all right, because every time you're doing something, you have to do it out of a portion. So if you can't find someone else to get the job done, and he has implemented 4 or 5 things, not just the one thing, then I can say we can live with this one for now until we can find someone better than this one. But for just the one thing that you put in place, I think it would have been no, just the same. All right. Um, the football market is more likely to invest in young players. The U21 is important to showcase players' potential. David, fully agree. Fully agree with you right there. Fully agree with it. Let me turn on. This the heater so I can get some. I can get some thingy. Let me plug in the charger right there. JD. All admins associated with Jamaica football knows the rules. They know what to do, what to implement. Okay, so but the problem is in a big boss. You see in life, it's hard for me to as what you see. I took the same approach with. This is what I don't like. This is what the only thing I slightly have a problem with when I'm reasoning. I took the same approach with Mr. Butler of not trying to beat him with anything instant, and you guys okay with it. But as soon as I took the same approach with Mr. Speid, you saw determined, the one that determined to get a pillowcase for Phoenix, him have a problem with it. Oh, my scene's a little bit fuzzy with this conversation. But I took the same thing with Mr. Butler when you guys directly wanted to beat Mr. Butler. The only difference with Mr. Butler, he comes out and says some clear things that make you see that him is that type of person. So I can understand when time people be conclusive as it relates to Mr. Butler. You get me? But the Mr. Speed them sometimes it's hard for me to gauge them as to what they're doing. So I have to base it off, okay, how much systems you implement and how beneficial it is towards developing youths. And how beneficial it is to get the right team in the national stadium for we to win games. Those are the things I have to base it on. And based off those 2 things, I wouldn't take him at this point. No, I wouldn't. But I can't make up other stories to make determinedly feel good. Yeah, you understand me? I can't make up those stories. So I can't, If you didn't realize it, JD is a builder. Mm. So guys, we have 10 more minutes. Please do smash the like button, share and subscribe. Very, very good conversation today. And this is what I want to do going forward as well. Even on my daily updates of football, I want it to be same way. So maybe if I never got mad yesterday, people would come with more respect. But so I respect the way the people approach it today. JD, look at my last comment. Let me see his last comment. JD, you're getting very fuzzy on this topic. So I've read that. Determine. You said I'm getting very fuzzy on this topic. Okay, so I don't know what you meant by that. Determine. All right. Yes. All right. The U20 gave schoolboy footballers the alternative after Manning Cup and Dacosta, gave them a competition and more exposure. Bring it back. Good job. You know why I'm gonna say that, Neil? When I was leaving St. Andrew Technical, obviously my life changed at that same point. So I never, right after school, I was not so interested in football as to I was right around 6 months before. But at the same time, the option was there for me because of the U21s as well, and also the Major and the Super League at the time. Major, Simbatlet, and Super League at the time. You had multiple options right there. You get me? So if you have any little quality players springing up through the Major League and the Super League, the Major Super and Simbatlet, you would have the option to join a U21 team. You get me? So you could have joined Portmore United without playing for the big team because the U21s would have been there. So you could have gotten more exposure. The only good thing is now you see Cavaliers with younger players. So those players that would have broke through, would have been in the U21s, actually be in the main teams now. I think I've seen a lot more of that than previous years. You know, so even though they have kind of failed with the youth programs, the U21s, I still thought that they did good enough to implement a rule to get more young players in the main Premier League teams as well. The under 17 Premier League will be starting next season. All right, we are gonna see. We're gonna use that to judge. We are gonna use that to judge. Right there. All right. JFF should implement a program with the universities and colleges for continued education for these young youths, or these youths leaving SBF. What I think our next thing would have changed a lot more, because what they have done over here is to change. If you want to go down the physical education route, they kind of set your entire schedule around that. But obviously they have the better infrastructure over here, so that's the difference, you know. But they should make it be a more a football education centric, you know. Yes, so you have your maths, your English, and then you have everything kind of go around your football. You get me? All right. So Pastor want to come back in. Big up yourself, Travis. How are you doing? Hope all is well. You came at the end of the show, Big Bad Travis. The end of the show. Pastor, how are you doing? You trip out our
Yeah,
call.
I was in traffic, so that's why you weren't seeing me on the stream. I realize it's on the closing of it, but I just wanted to be respectful to say, I it
What
is
you want to say?
no, I'm just
No,
saying
you
that
shake your
it's
head.
not
What you
that I
want to say?
abandon it's not that I abandon the stream. It's not that I abandoned the stream. It's that I had to be taking my brother to therapy. Had a serious
Okay, okay.
accident, so he's unable to drive himself. So that's why I wasn't participating in the stream, because you
Okay.
don't want to be you don't want to be on the phone. I was listening, but apparently the internet chipping out while in transit, that caused it to cut off. So
Okay, okay, okay.
yeah,
Well, it
but
was a good conversation, a very good one. And people,
yes, I
the
I
car is working so good. My charger in, switches to Bluetooth work well, because both of the phones are connected to the Bluetooth with the car system. Car phone system here, it even make me like it a little bit more. So now I have, see, my phone went down to low level of battery. I think it went down to like 20%, and I plugged in the charger working very well. It goes straight back into green. So that means more juice going into the charger, more juice going into the phone rather than what's coming out. The last car
hmm
couldn't do it. So I want to say that the Type C actually works, because I'm on live streaming, and people, you don't know how much juice the live streaming takes out of these phones. So the fact that it still stays this level and keep on going up, that is amazing. So that means I won't have my problems, as to what JC Ferran said. So that means I won't have to sell my house to pay for the car. I have the car that works. I don't need a Tesla. All right. I am working with this and it works very, very fine. Okay, you're good, Travis. All right. Big up, big up, big up, big up. All right. Yeah. So, Pastor, give a final point, because we're coming to the end of this one.
yeah, I I'm
I
happy.
had a brand car. I had a Ford, a BMW, and a Megan. So I had three cars since I'm here. I had a BMW, um, which was a classic one. I think I had it as my I think I had it as my profile pic in my discard. So I had a BMW.
I had a BMW. I had a Megan, a way newer Megan. Think and Megan was 2012, 2010, yeah, at the time, and I had a Ford Focus. I had a Ford Focus. So this one is completely different. Belgium just invested in car chargers. No, man, no, no, no. I'm just saying this car charger version works. All of them working fine. Because people had said to me that the chargers them don't charge well. Well, this system working good. So I guess the cars them in America not working good. That's all I'm going to say. You know, they said I should give them a tour of the new car. You're not seeing the new car pasted up on the screen. You guys are going to see it. It's not going to hide. All right. Oh God. Go ahead, Pastor. Finish your point, then.
Yeah, I like the way the conversation held, and despite the few little misunderstanding from the questioners,
Okay.
I actually like how it transpired and translated. I was listening even while I wasn't commenting up to when it chipped out, and the subjects that were covered are very important and integral to the development of football in Jamaica land we love, and we have to say it that way. I saw one man in our chat that stated that him no in and no out of many one people. So that man is declaring to the world that he's not Jamaican.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you are
Jesus
Jamaican,
Christ.
you must be out of many one people. There you have to embrace it to be Jamaican. And that man publicly type say him no inner no out of many one people. But for those of us who want to remain sane and really
She's a pastor, I'm a madman.
concerned,
Yes, I'm a madman. He said, for those of us who want to be seen. Well, this is a platform for all the sane people. We are trying to make it at least be this is a sane platform. I don't know about anywhere else. I'm not gonna vote for nobody. But I am not saying anywhere else of mad people. It's just pastor because you guys like to bring a narrative. I have not said anywhere else bring mad people. I'm just saying here I'm trying to bring as much sane people as possible. All right, that's all we are asking for. Go ahead.
you both are too close to your cameras. What? This man is out
He's
of order.
he's he's he- he's not a part of the sane human beings them. So we do have moderators that have actually defined the name of moderators. All right, yes, they have defined those names.
Anyway,
So Owen is one of those individuals. JD Academies
anyway,
in Jamaica has to abide by international standards when transferring to international club, so they know what to do to make Jamaica football better. What's really stopping them? Because the rules are not there in Jamaica, so they don't have to do that part. So they save it up until the transfer time comes. That's what we're discussing, Neil Goldson. That is the exact thing we're discussing. So that means they can do it. They only choose to do it only when it comes to the point of them benefiting from it. All right. Go ahead, Pastor. You say final piece, Pastor. I'm gonna leave Owen. Make him live him life. Determine. You say you have
I,
your Tesla. You say you have a Tesla. Um, if you so want to see the car, you can text me and I will send you the picture of the car. I have no problem. And you will see the inside of the car, but I have my stand here. So it's hard for me to take out my stand just to show you around the car. People will wonder if I'm frightened Friday. You understand me? Yes.
the Jamaican term would be Gladys or never see come see, you
Yes,
know.
I can't
But
be doing those
the the
things. Determine.
the,
Determine.
the thing, JD, the thing
Yeah,
is,
go ahead, Pastor. I have 2 more minutes. 50
I
seconds,
like
Pastor.
I like the fact how the stream went on. You have worked hard to get it to this
Yeah, man, whole heap of
for
bad word. Whole heap of bad word, whole heap
from
of killing and murderer
from
and
always.
threatening and all of those things. And beat up the pillow man them. Yeah, man.
Um, let me close on that. I heard somebody you're reading a comment in the chat that the people might take away that you're beating Craig Butler. The reality is, JD, the statement that you continue to make, that we do not listen well. and I'm not going to say we, too many people do not listen well. And a lot of them are on these different platforms in the chat because we spoke to the issue of the administrators administrating, putting in legislation to hold people accountable. And the same way, if you do any infringement, YouTube will cite you for it or block you. It's the same thing
Simple.
we're asking
Simple.
for, that there are things put in place and enforced. Because, Jerry, I believe they are
Pastor,
already
Pastor,
there.
Pastor, hold it to the next one. People, we have come to the
Yeah,
end.
man.
Smash the like button, share, and definitely subscribe. I have to run out for the little kid. So stay on the stream and just hit the like button once it's visible to your people. Thanks yet again, Pastor. We're going to chop it up later, yeah?